Hey guys, today I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks. So today I'm gonna be giving you some tips, things I wish I knew before I started year 13 and things I think that would be helpful for year 13. I have 8 things written down. If I think of more like across the video, then I'll say, obviously. But yeah, don't watch, guys, look at my eyelashes. These ones are basically almost off. Oh, I just pulled out 2. Beautiful. These ones don't want to come off, so I literally look so crazy. My first tip is about free periods. Throughout year 12, like, I didn't really use my free periods like that, except from when I had exams or mock exams or something important coming up next period, like a mini test in class. It's the only time I utilize my free periods, which is calm because in year 12, like, you don't really, it's not that serious not to use them because it's not that much, like, there's not that much going on in year 12. Like, you just kind of, you're going with the flow. The jump from year 11 to year 12 isn't that serious, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't that deep, but you definitely need to use 90% of your free periods in year 13 for revising, like doing tests, questions, flashcards, doing something. My light just died. Back to the point of the topic, the point of this video. Free periods, make sure you utilize them, make sure you're doing what you have to do. Be mindful of what you're doing. Don't be like me. Don't be in your free periods watching Netflix, Disney Plus, playing games, having jokes. Don't do that, because when it comes to revising everything, you're gonna get a punch in the face.
What the fuck?
Be like, wow, I should have used my free period. You're even gonna be thinking back to year 12, all the free periods you didn't use then. All the free periods you didn't use in year 12, you're gonna be thinking back and being like, why didn't I use them? Use your free periods as soon as you start year 13. Like, people may say, oh, year 13 is too easy to no. On to my next point. Don't start revising in April holidays. Do not start revising in April holidays. Like, you have too much to go through. And I know people are like, oh, why would you even revise in April? But I've seen people start revision in April. Don't do it, because it's only a month and a bit, because most exams start like the end of May. Like, psychology was end of May, I think. Sociology and English, like, or beginning of June, end of May. So it's like, you need to start revising from, if you're not revising from the beginning of the year, at least February. Like, February holidays is when you need to, like, really really do your big bulk of revision, in my opinion. But yeah, make sure you don't start revision in April, especially if you're doing a lot of essay-based subjects. Guys, your hands will fall off. You'll be too overwhelmed. Just spread it out. If you spread it out more, you will be less overwhelmed, and it's just not, you don't have to be thinking too much into it. You've already done the notes, you've already done that, if you get what I mean. My next point is start making flashcards. If you've already started making flashcards in year 12, that's even better, but start making flashcards at the beginning of year 13. Be summarizing everything in the beginning of year 13, because you don't want to be like in February thinking, oh, I need to make flashcards for this, because that's just supposed to be revision. I didn't make flashcards. I was making flashcards up until March, April. I was making flashcards. Even some of my exams, like a week or 2 before, I was making flashcards, and that just made everything so stressful for me. So make sure you start making your flashcards from the beginning of year 13. I'm not saying revise as soon as you step into year 13. Making flashcards isn't really revision like that. It does help, like, it does help retain information, but it's not really revision like that. You're just typing up stuff. But definitely start doing that at the beginning of year 13, because trust me, you do not want to be all the way where you're supposed to just be going over stuff, doing past papers, doing mock tests, doing all that, and you're writing flashcards. You don't want to be doing that. Start as soon as you step into year 13. Start making flashcards off, because remember, there's your whole year 12 content. It's a lot, and then you're learning extra year 13 content, and then you have UCAS, then you have your personal statement, you have everything. You don't want to be all the way in February thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know how I'm going to do all of this. So start making flashcards at the beginning of year 13. If you don't want to make flashcards, you can always buy pre-used flashcards. I have some pre-used flashcards from Tutor to You. Yeah, they weren't expensive. They was like £5-7 each, I think. Or not just flashcards. If you're type you don't like flashcards, your notes, however you revise, notes, mind maps, all of that, do that early. I remember going like a day or two before our exam. Like I remember walking like in the study center, and I was seeing people do mind maps then, like, which is okay for blurting, but it wasn't for blurting purposes. It was revision purpose. Like they were making their revision notes 2 days before. It was also me, but we're not talking about that right now. We'll talk about them. Don't be them, don't be us. Start now, so that when it comes to it, all you have to do is look over and blurt. But okay, this is my next point. Blurting is so good for revision technique. Like, I remember when I started running out of time, like I didn't have time to go through all my flashcards that I just made 2 days before. I didn't have time to go through it. So what I used to do is I used to write just a page of notes, like, because I'd make flashcards through my notes. Like I said, make your notes already if you're that type of, like, I had notes already from class, from revision. So what I'd done is I looked through my notes. I had a whiteboard, I had a pen. I looked through my notes and I crammed. Obviously cramming is not the best option, but if you do it from if you do it from like February, April, it's not really cramming. You're just trying to you're just blurting out what you remember. So I used to read the page. Let's say it's about obedience, we'll talk about Zimbabwe. I would read it all over. There was this many people, they were randomly selected into this and that, da da da, and then I would go to my whiteboard and I'd blur out everything I remember, and I'd do that about three times over until I remembered it in my brain. So that's a really good technique. You can also do that with your flashcard. My next tip is use past papers, examiner notes, feedback, A-star answers. Use everything, especially for English. If you do English lit, A-star answers are really helpful, because sometimes, for me anyway, I feel like the teachers in school, like, they want you to use, especially on like books like Ad and Handmaid's Tale, like they want you to use techniques, like pick out techniques, streetcast techniques. They don't, there's not a lot of metaphors, sis. They don't use that many metaphors in their books, babe. They don't use that many similes. They don't use a lot of stuff, but they want you to pick out techniques. But then you look at A-star answers and it's like, they didn't really use techniques either. They was just talking about how it affects the reader, da da da. So I would say, make sure you look at A-star answers. And for psychology and sociology particularly, because that's the subjects I've done, the examiner reports, like what the examiner writes about the paper, is quite good as well, because it tells you most people didn't know what this was, most people didn't know how to answer this. So when you're answering questions, you can see, oh, this is where they made a mistake here. Let me just quickly, did you get it? Let me just, so I'm not in that position when I'm doing my exams, if you get it. Yeah, so make sure you look at that. Your past, make sure, yeah, you're doing past questions, past papers, you don't even have to do a full paper. Do past questions and give them to your teachers to mark, to say. So giving questions, even just little 2 markers here, like, it actually helps, because it's really easy to get 1 out of 2 instead of 2 out of 2 in those 2 markers. So definitely be given in questions from the beginning of the year. Be given in questions, so that when it comes to doing your mock exam, your entry exams, your mock exams that you'll be given to UCAS, when it comes to that, you're already like, oh, I don't care, I've done bare past questions, bare past papers, like, it's not affecting me, I'm good. That's one thing I wish I did, especially for English lit, guys. Be given in past paragraphs. Like, it will help you a lot. It will help you flourish, it will help you succeed. Like, so make sure you're giving in your past questions, because at the end of the day, that's going to bring you ahead, because you already know your weaknesses. Once you start doing past papers, you know your weaknesses, you know what you're good at, what you're not good at, you know what to do with your life. Do you get it? You know what to focus on. So yeah, make sure you do past papers. I would suggest, after revising every block, like if you've just finished memory and psychology, then you go and do a whole bunch of questions before moving on to the next topic. Make sure you take your mock exams seriously, especially the ones that you put into your UCAS, because one, it gives you, like, it makes you feel it's like the same type of vibes as your real exam. Obviously nothing is this, it's not the exact same as your real exam, but it gets you in that mind frame of how your actual exam is going to be. So take it seriously. Like when you're revising, revise like it's the real thing, because at the end of the day, these are for your UCAS grades. Obviously it's not all that determines it. Okay, so my next thing is research your universities early. I would suggest research it at least, like, not even before it starts, because that's a drag, but right at the beginning. Like it saves so much hassle and battle. Yeah, research your unis early is the best thing you can do, so that you're not stressed about it. Obviously you have the UCAS grades and stuff, that the UCAS mocks that you need to do for your grades and all that. You don't want to be stressed about that and that all at the same time. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. You have to have a good mindset for A-levels, otherwise you will deteriorate and crash and burn. Do things when you're supposed to do them, if not earlier, because then you don't even have to be stressed. I was stressed. I was doing everything in January, revising, personal statement, choosing what I want to do, everything in January, and I deteriorated, crashed and burned, God forbid. But you know, it was difficult. This is the last point on coursework. Oh my gosh. Get your coursework done on time, please. Please get your coursework done on time. Do not be having to revise for your A-levels and still doing your coursework. Do not be revising for your A-levels and still doing your coursework, because you crash and you will burn. You will crash and burn. Do not be doing coursework and A-level revision at the same time, because it is not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Don't do it. To be honest, coursework isn't even that many, like it's not that deep if you get it done early. Get it done early. Be giving it back again. You want to maximize the amount of times you can be giving it back to your teacher and getting feedback. You don't want to only be getting feedback once or twice for your coursework. You want to have as much feedback as you possibly can. Do you get it? So make sure you get that done early. If you're doing English lit, choose your books early. Make sure you like the book. Make sure it's something you find interesting, because if it's not, you'll be so unmotivated and you won't want to do it. So make sure you choose your books and your topic wisely, and your topic of essay wisely. The jump between year 12 and year 13 is not real. It's not real. It's an illusion. And it's not necessarily the content that's changed is harder. No, I don't think A-levels are necessarily hard in terms of content. I think most things, like, well, obviously I don't know, maybe maths and science and stuff like that may be hard. Like if you're doing chemistry or something like that, that's probably hard. But English, so psychology, sociology, English lit, they weren't necessarily hard in terms of content. It's hard as in there's so much you have to learn, so much you have to apply, so many new techniques you have to learn how to do. It's a lot. So it's better if you do it early, so that you're not behind. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself. And I know that's difficult, because everyone's gonna put pressure on themselves, but try not to be like too hard on yourself. At the end of the day, what's meant for you will not pass you. There's a plan for you. God has a plan for you. If you don't believe in God, I don't know, if you believe in the universe has a plan for you. God, if you believe in God, God has a plan for you. Whatever the heck you believe in has a plan for you. Do you get it? Like, or if you're an atheist, girl, you better put that work. I'm just kidding. What's meant for you will not pass you. You will do great. If you don't do great, no one gives a damn. You might not even want to go to Blood Clot University. Who cares? Go do an apprenticeship. Go work. Go do whatever you want to do. Don't let people pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. I think that's it. All my points. Just stay mindful. Stay blessed. Stay focused. Stay present. Stay in tune with your mind, soul, and body. Clock it. Hope you guys have a blessed week. I have results day on Thursday. I'm literally pooping myself, honestly. Love you all. And I think, oh, can I just say, I thank you guys. Like, your comments on my videos are always so lovely. Like, I love y'all are so cute, and like, oh, like I just want to squish you, do you know what I mean? So I love you. And yeah, let me know what you want to see. Yeah.